Yeah, we got another Kung Fu one for you for today. Let's check it out. This one is called the Stephen H.K. Kung Fu 4231 version 3. Apparently, someone else uploaded it, but this is all credit goes to someone named Stephen H.K. It is a standard 4231, and actually, let me get to the tactic itself. There is a lot of information, though, on the Steam Workshop this time around, thankfully. So basically, what they say is you need to take control of the staff, of the opposition instructions and touchline instructions. If your staff do it, your staff is going to screw it up. So automatically, right off the bat, we know this isn't going to work very well for these simmed teams that we always do. In the preseason, you want to arrange as many friendlies as possible to get the tactic familiar for your team, is what it's written. Training was left to the assistant manager, things like that. So read up on the Steam Workshop if this looks good to you. But overall, it is basically meant for you to actually take a part in and work through day in, day out, match in, match out, not doing the sim, as we always say. But since this is the way we're doing it, we're going to check it out anyway. As you can see, sweeper, keeper, and defend, a wingback and attack on both sides, a ball-playing defender and defend on both sides, DM on both sides and support. You got inverted wingers on attack on both sides. You got an attacking midfielder in attack in the central spot, but right below the attack, advanced forward in attack as well up front. This is an attacking mentality. I have no idea what that means. I apologize. I don't speak that language. In possession, attacking width is fairly wide. Approach play is pass into space, overlap on the left and right, play out of defense. Passing directness is shorter and the tempo is higher. In the final third, lower crosses, work the ball in the box, and run at defense. And then if we look at in transition, counter press, counter, distribute to the fullbacks, and then throw it long. And then out of possession, high press line of engagement, standard defensive line, so it does open that midfield a little bit. Trigger press much more often and prevent short goalkeeper distributions, and I'm going to assume there's nothing there. I'm showing you the Endrick screen just so you know this is with the winter updates. Joining Real Madrid on 7/22/24. So next season he will be joining Real Madrid. This is already set. So this is using the new winter update database. So with that, Wolves are expected to be 15th by the media at the end of the season. Newcastle in 7th, if I'm not mistaken. 7th place. And then Tottenham in 3rd. So that is what we're working with here. You can see Wolves climbing a heck of a lot from 15th to 4th. So a fantastic return for them. Tottenham, not too bad in 5th. And then Newcastle around where you would expect them in 8th. So overall, for Wolves, this worked like a wonder. For everyone else, it was kind of average. Tottenham's schedule did not start out very well. August was not very good, not picking up a single win until Nottingham Forest at the end of the month, but then going on a small run there of about 5 games, and then just becoming spotty from here on out. Post-World Cup, another nice run from December to January, and then spotty again, just not a great February. A good March, a good April, and then just a bad May. You could see they got to the Champions League semifinals against Man City and lost 1-4, and then drew 1-1, just being kicked out of that. What else? FA Cup quarterfinals, you got to Liverpool 0-4. Ouch. And then the EFL Cup 2-2 in penalties against Lincoln City. So overall, 2 big cup competitions that you went pretty far in, which is not too bad. They were definitely seemed to be prioritizing that over the Premier League. But in the end, you still lose out on all of them. Wolves starting out in a fantastic form in August, losing just 2 at the end of the month and at the beginning of the month, then taking on 2, Man City and Arsenal. Fantastic wins there. 0-2 to Leeds, though, and then a fantastic run all the way to 0-5 against Manchester United, having just beaten them in the EFL Cup 4th round. But then it becomes a little bit spottier. You've got a round of 4 there, then 2, 2, 2, 2. So yeah, it becomes spotty from that point on. You lose out in the FA Cup 5th round against Arsenal 3-4. EFL Cup semifinals, second leg. So you do get the semifinals. 3-2 against Chelsea, and then losing 1-3 against Chelsea. And that kicks you out of all competitions, and then just spotty from the rest of the season. But overall, I mean, 4th place, not too bad. Newcastle schedule. I mean, look at that. You got a wonderful form through all of August into September. You have a 1-0 loss to Southampton that you probably could do better on managing it yourself. But then a nice run of 4 unbeaten. The 0-4 to Fulham. Okay, that one hurts. 1-2 against Brighton. Again, you could probably deal with that. But starting off the World Cup part, EFL Cup fourth round, losing against Aston Villa 1-2. FA Cup third round, 0-3 against Southampton. It's spotty month to month. January looks fantastic minus that loss. February looks awful minus that win. March looks awful. April looks fantastic minus that loss. So, then May just finishing out horrifically. 5-3 against Wolves. But in the end, still, top half finishes for everyone. You can't really complain too much about that. And Newcastle is probably going to have a heck of a lot of money to spend in the summer. So actually, with that, let's get to the transfers. So sticking with Newcastle transfer-wise, picking up Dominguez from, I don't know that team, 2.1 million. Peter Zielinski from Napoli for 31. Tony Weston from Rangers for 600K. Douglas Santos, we've seen before from Zenit, 25.5. And then Facundo Gonzalez from Valencia Mestalla for 4.5. I've never heard of that team. So you do have some new transfers this time around. And then kicking Jamal Lascelles to Strasbourg for 3.6 at the end of January. Nothing from Wolves for transfers, and then losing out on nobody, just loans. So Wolves' transfer business was not all that great. And just like Wolves, Tottenham did nothing in the transfer window past June, and then everything past June and July was all loans, so absolutely nothing from them either. Squad-wise, I will show you this screen quickly. You can see Tottenham had very few in the green, which is not a good thing to see at all. Did Wolves fare any better? Not really. Not really at all. Maybe one or two more. And then Newcastle, if you look at the squad, yeah, they were pretty average. Actually, Newcastle has more in the green than any of the other teams, but still not all that fantastic of a season. Premier League stats, you can see most goals. Man City, of course, 101. Wolves with 89. So a fantastic run there. Newcastle and Tottenham both in there with 81 and 75. Fewest shots against Tottenham with 447. Most dribbles made, nobody. Fewest conceded, Tottenham with 51. Liverpool, though, in first. But most shutouts, nobody. Most tackles won. Newcastle with 773. So I guess picking up the defensive side as the 8th place team. But most shots for Tottenham, Newcastle, and Wolves all showing up from 639 all the way down to 573. So not too big of a spread right there. And then most points per game, as you'd expect. Wolves in 4th, Tottenham in 5th, and then Newcastle in 8th. Player overview, most goals. Cunha in 2nd with 28. Harry Kane with 24 in 3rd. Isaac in 4th with 23. So a nice spread right there. And then nobody else. Most assists. Pablo Sarabia at 16 in 1st, Trippier with 14 in 2nd, and then Maximin and Almiron in 5th and 6th with 11 and 10 apiece. Pedro Neto with 10, also in 6th. Player of the Match awards, no one down to Kulusevski. It's 6th and then with 6, and then Cunha with 6, tied for 4th. So most shutouts, Hugo Lloris with 10. But really nobody finding anything else. Most tackles won with 95, Pedro Neto for Wolves. And then most key passes, Trippier, Sarabia, and Pedro Porro. Most shots, you have Alexander Isaac and Cunha in there, 109 and 97 apiece. Overall, starting with Newcastle in all competitions, Isaac with 26 goals, Isaac with 7.29 highest average rating, Trippier with 18 assists, and the most player of the match awards, Trippier, Almiron, and Isaac with 4 apiece. Cunha with 37 goals. So Cunha looks like he was a fantastic pickup from Atletico, but Cunha with 37 goals in all competitions, Sarabia with 7.23 highest average rating, as well as 21 assists, and then Cunha with 8 player of the match awards. So a fantastic return on some of these new boys. And then finishing out with Tottenham, Harry Kane with 33 goals, Kulusevski with 7.13 highest average rating, and 11 assists, and 9 player of the match awards. Overall, I will say 2 red cards for Porro. That's ouch. And 20 yellow cards. He is one maybe to stay away from. That is crazy. But league table overall, like I said, Wolves really picking it up into Champions League spots. Tottenham and Newcastle kind of in the spots that you would expect them to be in. Again, if you're playing on your own, you could probably do a heck of a lot better than these 0-1 losses and 1-1 draws and things. Hopefully you can kind of spur the team on and pick up a win, a lot more, a couple wins more than they've picked up here. 11 losses, 12 losses here for Wolves. I mean, it's only 3-point difference between the two, and then 59 for Newcastle. So, but still well above relegation. It may be worth taking a look at and following what the Steam Workshop says. So definitely a lot better than what we've seen in the past in a lot of these tactics, especially the Kung Fu ones. But overall, looking not too bad. Something to start off with, use as a baseline. But anyway, that is it for me, Safi and FM, for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.